There are a couple of different ways to approach this project, and the first thing I did is I just actually looked at the results I was getting from the JSON feed, and I kind of looked at what I could recreate with it in terms of what I saw on Facebook. And instead of me getting lost in the get JSON and my data templating, I just created a static HTML document that's going to represent the information that I want to get from there. And that's what you see here. And that's also what you see here. Now, this content is just static HTML. I made it up, but I made it up as a model to work from on what I'm going to pull from JSON and what I want it to look like in the end. Because this is going to serve an example like this before I actually get into how to get it from Facebook. An example like this serves two purposes. For one, when you're doing your data templating in JavaScript, it's going to help you out a lot to start with something like this, because you could just start by copying and pasting what you have here and then just putting quotes around the parts that you need. So for me, that's immensely helpful, because when I'm doing all the data templating, I just so easily get lost and have all sorts of validation mistakes because I got quotes going all over the place, whatever. It always seems like a struggle. And out of all the different ways I could do templating, I like to start with a static example and kind of quote it out from there. So that's the one thing that's very useful to creating this for yourself. The second thing is actually, if you have a static example and you've marked it all up for yourself, then you could either start with the functionality of trying to pull the data and templating it, or you could start with styling it from the beginning. I don't think either approach is wrong, and maybe if you work in a really big company doing this, you'd have one person who's more the dedicated developer doing the actual data templating, and another person just doing the CSS, and they could kind of be doing it, you know, by themselves, and later on kind of trying to put the project together. But if you're in a smaller place, and I have more experience working in smaller environments, that basically means you got to do it all. So I'm not sure that either way is a bad way to start it, whether you want to start by styling it or start by getting the functionality. But all of that, either one of those two functions starts with, or should start with, a static example of what you want your end result to be.